my name is Shampiers, and I'm from the 4-H group Penn Smile. I'm 12 years old, and this is my second visual presentation in my second year in 4-H. Today I'll be talking to you about fresh water in the Boston area, specifically the demands for fresh water in the Boston area, how those demands were met, and the results. Have you ever wondered where 4.6 million people in the greater Boston area get enough water for washing, drinking, plants, bathing, plumbing, and cooking? First, a little history. In 1800, there were 193,000 people living in the greater Boston area. By 1850, the population was up to 572,000 people. To fulfill water requirements, they built a constituent reservoir. In 1900, the population more than tripled to 1.8 million people, and they still needed more clean water. So the state decided to build the Wachusett Reservoir. In 1930, another million people were living in the greater Boston area, and they still needed more clean water. So the state decided to build one of the largest man-made public water supplies in the nation, and they call it the Quabbin Reservoir. The new reservoir needed to be able to serve what is now 51 towns. Here are the towns that the Quabbin Reservoir serves today. They found an ideal spot to build the reservoir, 90 miles west of Boston. Here's the Quabbin Reservoir, and here's Boston. So they found an ideal spot to build a reservoir. There was only one problem. There are 4 towns already in this location: Dana, Greenwich, Enfield, and Prescott. All the towns had normal buildings like town halls, churches, and hotels. All trees in most buildings were destroyed, but cemeteries and some buildings like this house were relocated. And here's a house getting pulled away on a tractor. So now they have this cleared out space. How are they going to fill it? Here are the 3 branches of the Swift River. They put the Windsor Dam here and the Quabbin Dike here, or some people call it the Greenville Dike. So once they backed up the river, how long do you think it took to fill? It took 7 years to be completely filled up. And once it was filled, it had a surface area of 38.6 square miles, an average depth of 51 feet. So in total, it holds 412 billion gallons. The Quabbin Reservoir can be safely counted on to provide 300 million gallons of water per day, even during extended periods of drought. The 51 communities that I talked about before used 203 million gallons of water last year per day. So with a capacity of 300 million gallons, sometimes there's excess water that needs to be released. And here's the water being released into the Connecticut River. In these pictures, you can see that the hills that were there in the 1930s are still here today. Here are some pictures that you can look at. And the first one shows all the towns still in the area. The second one shows everything cleared out. And the third one shows the reservoir fully built. Only now the land below them is no longer used for buildings, farms, and Only now the land below them is no longer used for towns, buildings, and farms. It is under 412 billion gallons of water. Today I talked to you about fresh water in the Boston area. Specifically, I talked to you about the demands for water in the Boston area, how the demands were met, and the results. Does anybody have any questions?
The name Quabbin sounds like it's American Indian. Do you know what it means?
The question is, do you know what the word Quabbin means? And the answer is, I actually don't know what it means, but I know that the reservoir was named after hills that were already in that area.
Have you ever visited the reservoir?
The question was, have I ever visited the reservoir? And I have. On my way home from the Big E last year, we stopped and we went into the visitor center, and that's what got me interested.
That just answered my question. What made you decide on this topic? Nice job.
Thank you very much.